Welcome back to Unscripted Buzz. Today, we're diving into two iconic franchises from the legendary Sylvester Stallone, Rocky and The Expendables. While both hold a special place in Stallone's career, recent developments have shown that Rocky's legacy shines brighter, especially in comparison to what went down with his character in Expendables. Stick around as we break down why Rocky's fate in Creed 3 is a far better send-off than what happened to Stallone's Barney Ross. Sylvester Stallone's iconic characters have seen very different treatments in two of his biggest franchises, Rocky and The Expendables. While Stallone did not appear in Creed 3, the handling of his absence was far more respectful than how Expendables treated his character. The Rocky franchise, which launched Stallone to stardom in 1976, underwent a successful revival with 2015's Creed. This reboot featured Rocky Balboa as a mentor and coach to Apollo Creed's son, with Stallone delivering a heartfelt performance that critics and audiences praised. Even without Stallone in Creed 3, the franchise maintained its emotional core and critical acclaim. In contrast, Stallone's involvement in the Expendables series has been less graceful. Launching the action-packed franchise as a seasoned Hollywood veteran, Stallone's leadership defined the early films. However, Expendables sidelined his character in a way that disappointed many fans, highlighting a stark contrast in how his legacy was treated compared to Rocky's thoughtful evolution. While Stallone is unlikely to return to either series, the Creed films clearly handled his departure with far more care. The Creed franchise gave Stallone's character a much better send-off than The Expendables. Sylvester Stallone's absence in Creed 3 felt natural and well-earned, as his character, Rocky Balboa, had already passed the torch to Michael B. Jordan's Adonis Creed in Creed 2. The film concluded with Rocky stepping away from the boxing world after Adonis's victory over Victor Drago, telling him, "It's your time now." In a poignant moment, Rocky reconciled with his estranged son and went to Vancouver to spend time with his family, bringing a heartfelt close to one of cinema's most iconic characters. By contrast, Stallone's limited role in Expendables was less impactful. The film was also intended as a passing of the torch moment, with Jason Statham's character, Lee Christmas, taking the lead from Stallone's Barney Ross. However, the execution left much to be desired. Early in the film, Barney fakes his own death as part of a larger plan to take down the villain, Ocelot. While this twist added some intrigue, it raised several questions, most notably why Barney couldn't trust Lee with his plan. Ultimately, while Creed 2 gave Rocky a fitting and emotional farewell, Barney's arc in Expendables lacked the same depth and resonance, leaving fans wanting more from the transition. Rocky not returning in Creed 3 was good for the legacy of Sylvester Stallone's character. When it was announced that Sylvester Stallone would not be returning for Creed 3, there was concern about whether the franchise could thrive without Rocky Balboa. However, Creed 3 earned widespread acclaim, demonstrating that the decision to pass the torch to Michael B. Jordan was a smart move for the series' future. By the end of Creed 2, Rocky's story had reached a satisfying conclusion. Over the first two Creed films, he had reconnected with his family, overcome cancer, mentored Adonis Creed, and even faced ghosts from his past. His journey felt complete, making his absence in Creed 3 feel natural rather than conspicuous. Rocky had imparted all his wisdom to Adonis, and it was clear the time had come for him to step away from boxing. The decision to reintroduce Rocky in the Creed series was a gamble that could have tarnished his legacy, as has happened to many beloved characters in other franchises. Instead, the Creed films deepened Rocky's character, offering him growth and closure that made him even more memorable. With Creed 2 providing such a graceful exit for Rocky, it was a wise choice to allow the franchise to stand on its own in Creed 3. Will Sylvester Stallone ever play Rocky or Barney again? The Rocky and the Expendables franchises share some parallels, particularly with Sylvester Stallone at their helm as both writer and director of their initial entries. However, it seems Stallone's time in both series may have come to an end. Expendables was widely described as a transitional film, shifting the spotlight from Stallone's Barney Ross to Jason Statham's Lee Christmas. Despite this intention, the film's poor reviews have cast doubt on the franchise's direction. While the studio could attempt to bring Stallone back to revitalize a potential fifth installment, current indications suggest a greater interest in exploring new characters instead. Conversely, Creed 3 proved the franchise could thrive without Stallone's Rocky Balboa, earning critical acclaim and solidifying its momentum. However, Stallone has expressed reservations about returning as Rocky, particularly given his discomfort with the darker themes explored in Creed III, Stallone has stated that he prefers to avoid taking heroes into the more somber territories that Adonis Creed ventured into, which likely explains the lighter tone of many later Rocky films. As a result, it seems increasingly unlikely that Sylvester Stallone will